Hello! Welcome to this week's video. In this week's video, I am making a personalized R2-D2 ornament. Alright, so I have everything here that I need to make my R2. As you just saw, I did have a reference R2-D2. It's the Sphero one. So I'm using him just as a reference. I'm not trying to do an exact replica of R2-D2. I'm using white glitter as the Premo Sculpey accent that I'm using for the body. Kind of wanted something that would help reflect the lights a little bit. It's kind of what I've done with some of the other ornaments. I always find it really hard when taking a character like R2-D2 and trying to figure out how to make him out of clay. I kind of thought back to the Lego R2, and I looked at some reference artwork of some chibi style R2s, something where I could kind of simplify it and yet still represent the character. I am using some liquid Sculpey here to help attach the legs. I did make the legs a little bit thicker too because I'm going to do the lettering on them. In addition to the liquid Sculpey, I'm also using a wire to kind of help support that leg as it goes in there. And then I go to the back and kind of smooth that clay, and I went ahead and took a little more of the white glitter and put it back there to kind of bond those legs onto the main body. I wasn't really too worried about how the back looks, since that'll be, you know, to the back side will be the backside of him will be the inside of the tree. And then I went ahead and used silver for the dome. Kind of just got a basic shape there. Then I went ahead and added the eye pin for the cord and then pressed that in there. That way it wouldn't slide back out. I'm just going to add some of the details. And as you can see there, I was using my Sphero R2 for the reference again. I used ultramarine blue for the blue on R2. It's a darker blue, and to me it seemed like it matched pretty well. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of add what I think are the parts that stand out the most to kind of give him that R2 look without adding every single little piece of blue. And then for the eye, I went ahead and used one of the black beads that I have, the glass beads. And I thought, you know, with the glass beads is, again, it's just something else that's going to kind of reflect in the light. And I thought that would look really good on this guy. Then I'll go ahead and add a few more details to the dome part, or R2's head. Just kind of want to give him that basic look. Then on the top there, instead of doing the middle circle where that pin is, I'm just going to do that outer area and kind of just give that basic indication of his detailing on the top there. I'll go ahead and add just a couple more details to the dome, and then I'll go ahead and start adding some details to the body. Wasn't really for sure if how I wanted to do these three, but I tried to go off of the reference one as much as I could to get the basic shape of these three bars that are above that main blue rectangle on his chest. I'm a pretty big Star Wars fan, but honestly, I don't know the names of all the parts on R2. So sorry if I don't have the technical names for these areas that I'm adding to him. Now that I've got these pretty much, shaped out how I want them, I can go ahead and get them added to R2. The main thing I wanted to do is just space them out enough just so there was a little bit of white showing through underneath. Now with those done, I could start working on the letters. So I decided, since it's personalized, I have to put a name, and I always do the name of the year. And this is for Daughtry. And so instead of making him a base, I decided I would just do the legs thicker and add the information there. And so I thought it would look nice to have the 2018 on one side and his name on the other side. So I went ahead and started with the 2018 because it had less things to put on it, and I thought that would give me an idea of how this is going to work then for the next stage to do his name. Initially, when I was doing these, I just kind of laid them on there. I didn't have them attached to it, so I want to make sure the spacing was correct before I actually pressed them in, and then I went ahead and pressed them in. I don't know how well that was captured on the video. Now with Daughtry's name, I was concerned about having enough room to put it on there. Either that, or I was afraid I was going to have to make them a lot smaller than I wanted to. So I decided to turn them sideways, and that would give me a little more space to put the letters on and fill up the leg a little bit better. And this worked out really well. I didn't have to do too much adjustments on them. I went ahead and just shaped out each letter and then trimmed them so they were approximately about the same height. And once I finish up these last 3 letters, I can go ahead and finish adding some more details to the front of R2. I left a couple spots on the front that I want to add some details with the silver. So I'll go ahead and get these letters wrapped up and get those details on there. If you've been watching my other ornament videos, you'll see this is a different technique than I've done with the other 2. And then I've got another one that I'll have next week that'll be similar to one of the other techniques. But I did mention in one of my previous videos that hopefully in January I'll do kind of a tips tutorial video on different ways to do letters on polymer clay. And that way, you know, you kind of have one video you can watch as a reference for that if this is something you want to try to do some personalized things. It's really nice when you're sculpting to do personalized items because a lot of people have names that they just can't get on a pencil. So that's something that'll be, you know, it's a nice benefit. And I know a lot of people really do like personalized gifts, so I mean, it is a nice touch, and then they know it was made for them, and it, you know, to me it means a little bit more that way. So here's the last little details I'm doing with the silver, just to add a little more detail to him. And then once I get those spaced in there, well, almost had it. Yeah, they ended up being a little bit too big to fit in the space that I had designed for them. So I kind of had to trim them down a little bit. I wanted to get more of an oval shape is how they're on the actual R2 unit, but they ended up being a little bit more round, but that's okay. Gotta adapt a little bit. And then once I did that, I went ahead and added some marks, and then I just drew some lines on the R2 to represent some of the doors and panels that are on him that are in the same color as his main body. As I wrap these up, then all we have to do is go ahead and preheat the oven and bake according to package instructions. And here is our finished, personalized R2-D2 ornament. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching, and remember, never stop creating. Bye. You can purchase items with my mascot on it from my TeePublic Store. And you can purchase my one-eyed blobs from my Etsy shop. Links to my TeePublic Store, my Etsy shop, my Facebook page, and my Instagram page are in the description box below. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. If you like this video, please give it a like down below. And if you have ideas for future videos, please leave them in the comments down below.